I want you to look at your neighbor and say it like you mean it. Today is a good day. Hey, we have a saying around here that missions isn't just part of the church, missions is the point of the church. And how many of you know our Kingdom Builders goes across the street and reaching a neighbor and around the world? And today, we have the opportunity to introduce you to someone who's been a part of Glad Tidings before. He has been here at Central. He's been at our Leander campus, our Liberty Hill campus. But his name is Chris Songston. He is a dear friend of our staff and helps consult us and teach us. But also, he leads a ministry called Church Rescue. How many of you know that the church in America needs some rescuing? Amen? And that we have the opportunity to help churches around the nation to go from struggling and declining to thriving and to partner in this ministry. In fact, it's such an important ministry for us that we have put a good significant amount of our missions money towards Church Rescue. But Chris is a dear friend of our church, has a heart for Glad Tidings Church. And so I want you to welcome Chris today as he comes and ministers the word of God. Would you welcome Chris?
All right, good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, come on, you're in church, the best place to be all week long. Good morning. So good to be able to be with you guys today and be able to hang out. And what a joy it is to be able to be at Glad Tidings Church. I've had the privilege of working with Pastor Michael and Tamara over the last couple of years. And I know they have a heart for Glad Tidings. I know they have a heart for the kingdom. And they have a heart for rescuing churches that are closing and dying. And we're going to talk about that a little bit towards the end. It is a joy to call them friends, Michael and Tamara. And I look forward to many more years of partnering with them, and as long as there's breath in our lung, we as friends are going to continue to partner together to help rescue churches across America. Now, I believe in giving honor where honor is due, and I travel all across this nation. I have the opportunity to see a lot of pastors, and I'm going to tell you, you have some of the best pastors on the planet. So, here's what I want you to do. I want you on the count of three to do me a favor, and I would love to give honor where honor is due, and I would love for you to honor our amazing pastors, Pastor Michael and Tamara. Are you ready? Come on, let's give them some honor. 1, 2, 3, go! Come on! Yeah! Woo! Love them, appreciate them, and man, make sure that you're always lifting their arms up, praying for them, honoring them, as the Bible tells us to do. And if you have a Bible, we'll go there in a minute. Go to the book of Genesis. If you got a Bible, if you don't have a Bible, next time at a hotel, get one. They're free. I steal them and then I sell them on eBay. It's a side hustle. I'm trying to save churches. We're going to talk about it at the end, a little bit about me. I'm the founding pastor of South Hills Church. We got up to about 12 campuses, and then I passed that off a few years ago to take on Church Boom. Church Boom has a lot of initiatives, but one of the big initiatives that Glad Tidings is part of is rescuing churches. Right now, listen to this. This is crazy. America is closing 3 churches for every one that open. Somewhere between 150 to 200 churches are closing their doors every Sunday. Every Sunday. And how many agree with me? We got to do something about it. Come on, we got to do something about it. That's happening on our watch. That's not happening on our great-grandparents' watch. That's happening on our watch. I want to talk to you about that at the end. I've been married for 35 years to a beautiful Mexican woman. And she doesn't speak any English, but that helps us get along. We don't even know what we're arguing about. It's amazing. I'm telling you, it's the secret to the marriage. We have 2 amazing children, and then we have this third one. No, I'm totally playing. Could you imagine how rude that would be? We have 3 grandchildren. We have Mila, 5, Ella, 3, and a 9-month-old or 8-month-old, Leo. And how many grandparents here? Come on now. Best thing on the planet. Way better than parenting. And God's gift to you for not killing your own kid. It's an amazing thing. But hey, I want to jump into it today. I want to minister to you for a few minutes, and I want you to get ready to take notes and dive in, and man, let's have an incredible time. Then I'll turn the corner at the end, and we'll talk about the amazing partnership that Glad Tidings has because of your great pastors and leaders of rescuing churches, and we're going to keep on rescuing those churches for years to come because there's so much work to do. But hey, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine named Cam. Put it on the screen for me. Picture me and my buddy Cam. Now, that's the guy that a few years ago cut my hair. Now, he still cuts my hair, but a few years ago, I normally would get my hair cut at the place where my wife would get a haircut, but the lady that normally gave my haircut was gone. I was going on a road trip, and I needed a haircut. So I walk into a barbershop, not a salon, a full-on Southern California crazy barbershop. There's like 20 barbers in there, and this is the guy that was available, and his name is Cam. And we become friends, but I go in there. Now, here's the thing about this barbershop. They've got African-American dudes in there. They got white guys. They got, Hispanic. They got Asian. Everybody in there is cool. I mean, just the way they, everybody's just like, I'm not that. I'm not cool. I know that I'm not. When I walk in and I'm like, hey, how you doing? They all do this little handshake. How you doing? I don't know what to do. I don't know if they want me to bunt, but they're just cool. So I start getting my hair cut with this guy, and we start building a little bit of a friendship. And I don't know, a couple months into getting a haircut from him every few weeks, he tells me I'm about to get a haircut, and he's cutting my hair. He's like, hey, man, I want to take you outside afterwards, and I want to show you my new car. And I'm like, all right, okay, whatever. I'm not really all that into cars, but I'm like, okay. And we go out there, and it's a Dodge Challenger Demon. And it does like 0 to 60 in like 1.8 seconds, 9 seconds, something crazy like that. And I'm telling you, the thing was demon-possessed because we got in the car, and I like going fast if I'm in control. I don't like going fast when someone else is in control. And anybody that knows me is not shocked by that. But I get in the car, and he is flying. He's doing 120 in a 35-mile-an-hour zone. And he is laughing the entire time because I got the seatbelt on, I'm holding on, I got my foot up on the dashboard, and he's just flying. And not only that, he's got music going that's so loud. He's got like 19, it's like rap, reggae kind of combo thing. And he's got like 19 speakers in the trunk. I'm not a 19 speaker person. You don't need 19 speakers for a podcast. So we're flying 120 miles an hour. All of a sudden, the light turns red, and whatever amount of yards in front of us, and he goes, ah! And he stops, and he's laughing, and I'm hanging on like this. I am literally, honestly scared to death. And the music's all boom, boom, but it's just playing loud. And as I'm standing there going like this, or sitting there going like this in the passenger side, a car pulls up, a husband and wife, and they're all, Pastor Chris, is that you? I'm like, that's me, man. I didn't know you liked it. Oh, it's my vibe. I'm the next Jelly Roll. And some of you got the Jelly Roll joke, and some of you thinking, why is he talking about donuts? But anyway, we get back, and then, he continued to cut my hair over the next few months. Now, he begins to tell me about his upbringing. Hey, man, I grew up in Atlanta. And he starts to tell me a bunch of stuff I don't think he's ever told anybody. He goes, man, I've had problems with drugs my whole life. I not only deal drugs, I also take drugs. He goes, matter of fact, when I was 13 years old living in Atlanta at the time, he goes, my dad was a drug dealer big time, and I would ride my bike and help deliver the drugs. I was delivering drugs by the time I was 13 years old. And I remember in my conversation with him, and I just said, Cam, I go, you're dating a girl right now, right, Cam? He goes, yeah. And I said, and you're going to, maybe marry her and maybe have a baby. He says, yeah. I said, your dad, now follow me on this thought, everybody. Your dad did drugs and went in and out of prison. Am I right? Yeah, you're right. You do drugs and you've been in prison more than him. Am I right about that? He said, yeah, you're right. And I said, okay, now let's go to the third thing. I go, let's look at your son. I go, what do you think's going to happen to him? What do you think his issue is going to be? And so I began to just draw out on a napkin, put it up there for me if we could. I drew out on a napkin a little thing like this. I said, look, it's kind of like your dad was this, maybe you're this, maybe your son or daughter will be this. And I said, here's the problem, Cam. I said, notice the batons. If you notice the batons, they're getting darker. I taught him on that day the 3 laws of the family script. And I want to teach those to you today. Here's law number 1. Put it up there if we could. Law number 1 is this. Help me out. The issue what? The issue? Come on, everybody in the house. Come on now. The issue what? And it typically gets what? Darker. Okay. This is what I was telling Cam. I said, Cam, your dad dealt drugs and went to prison. You're dealing drugs and you're doing even more time in prison. I said, what do you think's going to happen to your son? The issue's traveling. And it typically just keeps getting darker. Now, you might be sitting here thinking, man, that's really sad, but hey, that's not my scene. I've never done drugs, I've never dealt drugs or whatever. But we all have issues, don't we? And we all have issues that if we're not careful, just keep going down the generational tie of our family. Here's some issues. Maybe you can identify with one of these. Put it up there for me if we could. Here's the issue. Maybe fear. Lying is an issue for you. Maybe avoiding conflict. Maybe the fear of commitment. Laziness, suppressing emotions, bad attitude. Maybe sometimes you struggle with greed, quick temper, cheating, hard time forgiving, insecurity, unhealthy mindset, envy. I don't know what it is for you, but we all have issues. Every single one of us have things where it's like, man, if I could just wave a magic wand, I wish that would disappear in my life because I think it's showing up in my children's life. And it might show up in their children's life. And I want to deal with that thing. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to lock in that one or two things. That one or two things is just like, I'm like that. I'm like that, and I don't want to be like that, but I am, and I don't want it to continue in my life. I want it to stop once and for all in my life. Now, here's the thing. We all have issues, every one of us, all throughout the Bible and all to today. Everybody in here has something that they're dealing with. And I want to introduce to you three characters in the Bible that are synonymous with each other. Matter of fact, when you say one, you almost say the other one right away. Okay? Help me out now if you can remember this. What are they? Their names are Abraham. What's the next guy we always talk about? Isaac, and then what? They're synonymous with each other. Because you have Abraham, the grandpa, you have Isaac, the son, and then you have the next son, Jacob. 3 generations. Men of God, incredible things of God, miracles that God did through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now stay with me because this is important. But there was a deep, dark family secret that most of us in here probably have never picked up on. There's a secret that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob suffered with that we all probably have read, but we probably have never really seen that dark secret. So I'm gonna show you that secret, and I'm gonna show you how the issue travels through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and it keeps getting, what's it? Keeps getting what? Come on, it keeps getting what? Darker. Check it out. Let's go to Abraham. Put it on the screen for me. We all know Abraham. Abraham's a popular dude. Abraham is, in Hebrews 11, is known as the hero of faith. Abraham is the guy that is the father of all nations. He's the only one that's got a song about him. Anybody remember the song when you were a kid? Father Abraham. Okay, we'll need to stop right there because some of us can't sing. And the rocks are crying out. But Abraham's got this kind of thing, and he's kind of the man. However, he's got a problem that most of us never picked up on, and we never realized how it went to every generation. This is very fascinating. Lean in and check this out. Here it is in Genesis 12. Let me show you verse 11 through 13. Put it on the screen for me. Here we go. As he was approaching the border of Egypt, Abram, which is later Abraham, said to his wife Sarai, which later became Sarah, "Look, you are a beautiful woman. When the Egyptians see you, they will say this is his wife. Let's kill him, then we can get to her. So please tell them you are my sister." What does he want her to do? He wants her to what? Lie. Okay, then they will spare my life and treat me well because of their interest in you. Now, Abraham has never had to lie. We don't see anywhere in the Bible that he lied. He always trusted God, that God would come through. He didn't see the reason to lie, but for some reason, on that day, he was afraid. On that day, he thought, man, this is so big, I don't even know if God can help me out. Now, you might be thinking, hey, man, it's just a little white lie. All he was doing was telling his wife, hey, tell everybody you're my sister. That'll protect me. That'll protect you. But he lied. And not only did he lie one time, although we don't see anywhere that he lied before, and if you fast forward to Genesis 20, he lies again. He not only lies once, help me out, but he lies what? Twice. He'd never done this before. He not only lied once, but he lied twice. He made an excuse about it in Genesis 20. He says, well, the only reason I'm lying is because these people are ungodly and so on and so forth. And so he not only lies once, he lies twice, and then he makes an excuse about it. Now, Abraham is about to learn the law of the family script number 2. Ready? Here it is. Put it on the screen for me. What doesn't get repaired gets repeated. Abraham didn't repair it. He lied in Genesis 12. If you've taken notes, he lied again in Genesis 20. Then he made an excuse about it. When God always came through for him, why did he have to lie? But then all of a sudden, Isaac shows up. That's his son. Isaac shows up into the situation. Put it on the screen for me. Let's introduce Isaac. That's his son. What doesn't get repaired, help me out, gets what? What doesn't get repaired, Abraham did not repair it. It's going to get repeated in Isaac's life, and it's going to show up big time. Now, I want to read something to you that maybe you've never seen before, ever. Let's look at Isaac's lie, because now he's starting to lie, okay? Here, look at this. Genesis 26, verse 7. When the men who lived there asked Isaac, that's the son, the second generation down, about his wife Rebekah, he said, she is my sister. Do you recognize? It's the same lie, man. Abraham. Now keep in mind, if you want to do some math, if you're looking at history, Abraham lies and says, she is my sister. And then Isaac does it again. Look at this. He said, he was afraid to say she's my wife. He thought they'll kill me to get to her because she's so beautiful. You guys, if you look at the verses, they're almost identical. Stay with me. Abraham lies. It doesn't say that he told Isaac about it. Matter of fact, when Abraham lied, stay with me, 25 years passed before Isaac was ever even born. A total of 80 years passed between the first lie that Abraham said and then the lie that Isaac said. Isaac didn't know his dad lied like that. The book wasn't written yet, Genesis. He didn't know that his dad lied like that. So how's that possible? How come Isaac lied just like his dad lied? The same exact lie. How is that even possible? Put it on the screen for me. Here's why. Because children learn patterns before they learn words. Children learn patterns before they learn words. Abraham lied. 80 years later, Isaac lies with the same exact lie and ironically didn't know anything about his dad's lie. But he lied about the same exact thing because children learn patterns before they learn words. A few years back, I remember in Southern California, San Clemente Beach, where we live, and now part-time live, but live. And I remember my son was coming home from college, and he was going to be home at the end of the day, and so I was excited to go see him, but I stopped at Chipotle before I went home because I was hungry, and I was like, man, I want to eat something. And it was only like 3 p.m, but I had lunch, so I stopped at Chipotle, and I was excited to see him, but I go into Chipotle. How many have ever been to a Chipotle before? How many get frustrated when they give you the meat? You're like, come on. And I don't know about you, but I'm like, that's it? I don't want more lettuce, buddy. I'm not a rabbit. Anyway, so I'm standing in line, huge line, and they keep running out of food. You ever been to a Chipotle? It's just like this little, they're making your burrito, and you tell them what you want on the burrito or the bowl or the taco, whatever, and you kind of go down this line. I'm way back here in the line, right? And they're taking forever because they're running out of this, and they're running out of that, and then they got to make it, and the line stops, and it's taking forever. I'm standing there. We finally get up here, and now they run out of more stuff. The lady next to me is probably in her late 30s, right? And she starts talking to me. And we're talking because, there's nothing else to do. We're standing there waiting. And she talks a little more, and she talks a little more. And I thought in my mind, man, she's really being extra nice. And I thought for a minute, I'm thinking, she's flirting with me. Now, you got to understand why this is a big deal. No one flirts with me. See, some of you laugh right there, and that hurt. No one flirts with me. It never happens. I know what I am, and I know what I'm not. Good looking is what I'm not, Pastor Michael. Look at him. He's the Kevin Costner of Glad Tidings. I look over there and I just think Yellowstone. And that's not me. I'm not that. I know that. But I'm thinking she's flirting, so we're going down the line. It's taking forever. She keeps talking to me. It's such a major deal that I lean over while she's talking and I text my wife. You're not going to believe it. Someone's in line flirting with me. She texts back, there's no way. We work our way down this line, right? We finally get to the spot where you're supposed to pay for it. And the guy behind the counter, he's totaling it up or whatever. And he asks her, are you guys together? he meant, are you guys paying together? Which we weren't, but are you guys paying together? She took it as, are you guys together? Her response is, oh, no, never. We're not together. And I'm like, I text my wife, false alarm. Never mind. Back to reality. So I go home, and I see my son, and he's in his room. I haven't seen him. He's been at college. And I go, I give him a big hug, and I notice there's a hole in the wall. I said, son, I go, why is there a hole in the wall? There wasn't a hole this morning. Why is there a hole now? And he goes, oh, I just got really mad. I was trying to hang something up, and I got mad. The nail wouldn't go in, so I punched it. And I'm like, are you out of your mind? So then I go and see my wife, and I'm like, can you believe what your son did? Of course, it's your son. And she looked at me, and she's like, and where do you think he got that impatience from? And I said, you. No, Now, I'm going to tell you something. I'm an impatient person. I like things to happen. I do not like slow. I like moving along. My son's impatient, okay? He's getting that from me. Where did it come from? My dad, he passed away a couple of years ago. Most impatient man on the planet at the time was my dad. Now, I've taken that reign. But my dad was he passed away a couple of years ago. He's on his deathbed. This is taking forever. He's just so impatient. Literally. You think I'm joking? He's crazy. And then I'm impatient. And then my son's impatient. Why? Because what doesn't get repaired gets repeated. It's just happening. I don't have to tell him, hey, son, I'm impatient, so maybe you should be impatient too. Children pick up patterns way before they pick up words. It happened with Abraham and Isaac. It happened with Chris Songson and my son Aiden. It happened with my dad to me. It just happens. Now, back to the story. Abraham lied how many times? Not once, but what? Okay, now listen to this. This is important. He lied once, and then he lied again, but he made an excuse. When you make an excuse, you at least know you're wrong. You're just trying to get out of it. Right? Isaac lies, well, stay with me, doesn't even make an excuse about it. It's getting darker. It's just the way our family is. It's not that big of a deal. It's just getting darker. The issue's traveling, and it's getting darker. He's about to learn. Isaac's about to learn with his son Jacob, who's coming soon. Isaac's about to learn the law of the family script. Number 3, put it up on the screen for me. If you don't deal with it now, they'll deal with it next. If you don't deal with it now, they'll deal with it next. And that's what happens. Okay, Abraham, one more time. Let's review. Abraham lied how many times? Not once, but what? Made an excuse. Then Isaac comes along. He lies 80 years later, the same exact lie, but doesn't even try to make an excuse about it. And now comes Jacob. Now here's what's interesting is Jacob is in the Old Testament, the word actually means deceiver. Can you imagine naming your kid Deceiver? Seriously, like you're pregnant right now, you know, your family's pregnant, whatever. Next week you show up with a baby, and Pastor Michael and Tamara are like, oh my gosh, what a beautiful baby. Oh, that's great. What's his name? Oh, Deceiver Manipulative Johnson. 7 pounds, 2 ounces of pure deceit. I mean, how weird would that be? But they named him Deceiver. In the Old Testament meant deceiver. Now, in Genesis 25, check this out. Jacob, now we're on the 3rd generation. What does he do? Genesis 25, he lies to his own brother to get ahead financially. In Genesis 27, he lies to his own dad to rip off his family and get ahead financially. Now, here's the thing. Put it on the screen for me. For this, lying moves from being a symptom to being a strategy. Do you see how it's getting darker? Are you following me? Abraham lies twice. At least he makes an excuse. I mean, you kind of know you're wrong when you're trying to make an excuse about it. Isaac lies, doesn't even make an excuse. And then you move to Jacob. He's lying to his own brother and his own dad to get ahead financially. It's no longer a symptom in their family. It's getting darker because it's becoming a strategy of how they get ahead in life. Now, here's the good news. There's hope. There's hope. There's hope that it doesn't have to continue in your family. The past may describe you, but it doesn't have to define you. And that's what happened for Jacob. It didn't have to define him. A while back, my wife and I were going through some boxes in our house, and we came across some different Christmas gifts. Now, if you know anything about me, I love giving gifts, and I love giving very unique gifts. I'm not into like, it's Christmas, here's some perfume. I like giving unique gifts. But my wife always wants to know, what did I give her? So a few years back, it's like December 3rd or 4th, 5th, something like that. It's a few weeks before Christmas. We're driving down the road 3 weeks before Christmas. My wife says to me, hey, what'd you get me for Christmas? I'm like, you're unbelievable. You ask me every year. I'm not going to tell you. And she goes, did you already buy it? It's 3 weeks before. She's not used to that. It's 3 weeks before. You already bought it? And I said, well, yeah, actually. I said, actually, I bought it December 26th of last year. She goes, you bought it the day after Christmas last year? I said, that's when things are on sale. And she goes, you bought it last year, day after. Oh, yes, I did. Oh, okay. And then, she always does, how much did you pay for it? I'm like, okay, I never tell you, but I'm going to tell you this time. I paid $7 for it. You bought me a gift December 26th of last year for Christmas in a few weeks, and you only paid $7 for it. Well, and I'm like, yep, that's the truth. And so Christmas morning rolls around, and what it was is I bought the Christmas morning rolls around, everybody's opened up their gifts, she opens up her gift, she finds 2 little journals in there, and they cost me $7 at Walgreens. And they were journals, and I wrote every day starting the day after Christmas last year until that Christmas morning. I wrote every day, 1 page every day, 365 reasons why I love you. Now, what's happening right now is all the women are going, aww. And all the men are going, jerk. I know exactly what's happening right now. That sweater you got for her last Christmas don't look so good now, does it? So we were going through some other pictures, and we came across a picture of us being in the youth group. I didn't grow up in church. I got saved in the youth group, got invited to a youth group, got saved, gave my life to Christ. When I was 15 years old, my buddy in the youth group was named Eddie Abareno. And every time me and Eddie were together, or we were gonna, walk away at church or walk away from his mom or whatever, whenever he was with his mom, she would always say, Mrs. Abareno would say, I love you, and Eddie would always say, I love you too. Well, one day, we're standing in the lobby at church, and Eddie's on the other side of the lobby, and I'm 15 years old, go to church by myself, ride my bike there, and I'm standing there, and Mrs. Abareno's right there, and I said, hey, Mrs. Abareno, I said, can I ask you a question? She said, sure, Chris. I'm 15, and she's my buddy's mom, and he's over somewhere else. I go, Mrs. Abareno, I go, every time you see Eddie, you tell him you love him. Why do you do that? And in her adult, me 15, she realized this is really foreign to him. And she goes, what do you mean, why do I do it? And I said, I just don't understand. She goes, doesn't that happen in your house? I go, my dad has never told me he loved me. Never once. Now, we fixed it later on in life as adults. But at that point, he'd never told me, not one time, ever. And she told me, she goes, Chris, she goes, I bet that if you ask your dad, his dad, your grandpa, never said he loved him. He loved him. And I asked my dad a week or two later, and my dad's like, no, man, Grandpa never said that to me. He's never told me. He had already passed away. He'd never told me he loved me one time. And I said, I'm sitting there, and I'm talking to Mrs. Abareno, and you know what she told me? She goes, Chris, your grandpa has never said, I love you to his son. Your dad has never said, I love you to you. If you don't fix this problem, Chris, what do you think is going to happen in the future? You're going to have a continued generation. You know what she was telling me to do? Just like my shirt says, just like the screen says, she was saying, Chris, you better help me out. Say it with me, rewrite the script. You got to rewrite the script in your family. You got to rewrite the script in your family. Your problem with your family is you guys don't express emotions. That happened with your grandpa, that happened with your dad, now that's happening with you. And I remember at 15 years old, I could take you to the place where I was standing when she told me that. Mrs. Abraham told me that, and I remember at 15 thinking, only 15, thinking, this can't continue in my family. So later on in life, when I get married, I would tell my wife every day that I love you. And I would tell my kids every day that I love you. Now my daughter's got 3 kids, 5-year-old, 3-year-old, and an 8-month-old. And I watch her every day tell her kids how much she loves them. I'm not saying I'm special. I'm not saying I'm great. All I'm saying is at that age, at 15 years old, I decided I was going to rewrite the script. And you can do the same thing. Now, Jacob, let's go back to Jacob. He decided one day he was going to rewrite the script because Abraham lies twice, makes an excuse. Isaac lies and doesn't even make an excuse. And then Jacob lies to get ahead financially. His symptom becomes a strategy. It's getting worse for them. But Jacob one day decides enough is enough. Look what happens in Genesis. Chapter 32, verse 24. This left Jacob all alone in the camp. And a man who we later find out is an angel, came and wrestled with him until the dawn began to break. When the angel, saw that he would not win the match, he touched Jacob's hip and wrenched it out of the socket. Then the angel said, let me go, for the dawn is breaking. But Jacob said, I will not let you go unless you bless me. What is the next question the angel says? It's right on the screen. What is verse 27? Come on. Okay, stop right there. Why does the angel ask Jacob what your name is? I'm just guessing out loud. The angel already knew his name. Why would he ask him his name? This is just my opinion, my philosophy. I could be wrong about this. But Jacob, what did Jacob mean? I already told you earlier. It meant what? What was the word? Okay, here's what he's saying. Right in the middle of all this, the angel goes, hey, by the way, what's your name? He wanted Jacob to say, my name is Jacob. I'm a deceiver. He wanted him to own it. Let me tell you something. Jacob could have easily played the victim. Well, let me tell you what my dad did. Let me tell you what my grandpa did. Let me just tell you the way our family is. Let me just tell you about our lying patterns. And he could have played the victim. But you know what I've learned? Those that play the victim rarely get the victory. And the angel was, I need you to say it, Jacob. What is your name? Meant deceiver. And he says, the man told him, he replies, my name's Jacob. Your name will no longer be Jacob, the man told him. From now on, you'll be called Israel because you have fought with God and with men. Jacob meant deceiver. And Israel meant that God rules in your life. The angel gave him a name that didn't describe so much his character, but his calling. He changed it on him. And if you watch the Bible, you watch the trajectory over time, it starts to change. And you can see the change that happens because Jacob over here decided enough was enough. I don't want to continue in my family. I don't want this to keep on going in my family. He rewrote the script. Now, let's think about this for a moment. Stay with me. Okay, Jacob rewrote the script because they were a family that had a problem with what? What was their issue? Lying. Jacob had a problem, their family had a problem with lying, and it got worse and worse and worse. But he finally stood up. By the way, at age 60, Jacob said, enough's enough. I don't care if you're 50, 60, or 80 years old in here. It's never too late to do the right thing. 60 years old, he said, enough's enough. We got to change this. What did I do? At 15 years old, I said, okay, I'm going to rewrite the script myself. My family issue wasn't lying. My family issue is we didn't know how to express our emotion, but that's a major problem. Jacob was lying. He fixed it. He rewrote the script. Ours was we don't know how to express love in our family, and I rewrote the script. At 15 years old, I decided I didn't want to continue that with the family. My buddy Cam, could you put that back on the screen for me, the picture of Cam, if we could? Remember that guy Cam at the beginning of the message? A few years ago, we gave him a Bible. Then he started going to church. He gave his life to Jesus. Just a few months back, I put a note in my calendar and I walked in on a day where I didn't have a haircut and I had a cake. And he says, what are you doing? I said, today's your 5 years being drug-free. Don't think I forgot. And he started crying. All his friends were looking around, and it was the most incredible moment. He said to me in private, no one's ever treated me this way. It was just a cake. It wasn't anything special. But I remember he's been drug-free for 5 years, and I'm going to give you one more that's unbelievable. This year, he will graduate from a university with a degree, and he didn't even graduate high school. Isn't that awesome? What did Cam do? He decided to rewrite the script. Okay, I'm rewriting the script, Cam said. Jacob did it with a family of lying. I did it with a family that couldn't express emotions. Cam did it with a family of addicts. He decided I was going to rewrite the script once and for all in my family. Now, we need to rewrite the script in our own life. And We need to rewrite the script in the local church. But before I just take 5 more minutes and then we're going to watch a video and be done, before we talk about rewriting the script in the local church, which we're going to talk about in just a second, I don't want to miss this moment. There are some of you in here that you need to rewrite the script in your life. I was 15 when I chose it. Cam was 33 when he chose it. Jacob was 60 when he chose it. Do you see this? They're all young, they're not all old, every generation. I need you to think about, where do I need to rewrite the script in my life? What do I need to change? What do I need to fix? What's been part of my family tree that just isn't good? And decide today to rewrite the script. For some of you in here, before I just finish it out with talking about the church just for a couple minutes, there are a few of you in here that your rewriting the script starts with a renewed relationship with Jesus. I want to pray for you right now. And if you're in a spot where you're thinking, man, I don't think Jesus is the center of my life. Matter of fact, if some tragic thing was to happen today and I stood before the Lord, I'm not sure what my eternity would look like. Your rewriting of the script starts with getting things right with Him. And I want to give you an opportunity. I just want to pray with you real quick, and then a couple more minutes, and we'll wind this down. Would you close your eyes with me real quick? We don't need any music, nothing emotional, just, hey, Chris, I need to rewrite the script of my life, but I know it starts with rewriting the script of my relationship with Jesus. I got to fix it. I got to make it right. If that is you, I won't point you out or anything. If that is you, would you just quickly slip up your hand and just say, that's me, man. I need to rewrite the script with my relationship with Jesus Christ. Come on, put up your hand and be bold about it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. Anybody else? Thank you. Thank you. I want to lead you in this quick prayer, and we're going to all say it together, because this is the most important thing we're going to do this entire morning. Say it after me. Everybody in the house, and those, especially those that raise their hand, say it with me out loud and proud. Say, Jesus, today I invite you into my life. Make me brand new. Forgive me for all I've done wrong. From this day forward, I will follow you with a dedicated heart. I choose today to rewrite the script. In Jesus' name, amen. Hey, you know what? Come on, let's give these people a hand. Come on. If you raise your hand, Pastor Michael will come in a few minutes and give you some next steps that you could take. Man, I'm so proud of you. You've made the best decision. That is the single most important thing we're going to do here this morning, is making sure people have an opportunity to find Jesus. Now, we talked about rewriting the script in our own life. For sure we did. And I hope that you walk out going, I know what mine is. Remember, we had a list of them. I know what mine is. Maybe yours isn't even on the list, but I'm going to fix that. I'm fixing it in my life because I don't want it to continue in my life. But there is a script we also need to rewrite, and it's for the local church. Pastor Michael made reference of it. Through Kingdom Builders, through what you guys do, among many other things that you support, one of the things that you do is rescue churches. I can't think of a greater thing than to rescue the bride of Christ. We are losing way too many. And the more lighthouses go out in America, the darker America gets. America is losing churches at a rapid pace. Let me show you this real quick. We're going to wind it down. Churches in America closing at a record pace. Look at the screen, top left. In October 2025, Actia said 15,000 churches could close this year, and at a religious shift in U.S. That's 300 a Sunday, by the way. 300 a Sunday. Look at the top right. U.S. decline in religion among the biggest in the world. Did you catch that? In all the countries in the world, we're having the biggest decline in religion. That never happened in our history. We used to lead the pack. Bottom left, ABC News says churches fight to stay open as attendance dwindles. Right-hand side, bottom, USA Today says churches are closing faster than new ones are opening in the U.S. About 5 years ago, Church Boom started an initiative called Church Rescue. Got a bunch of pastors together and said, man, what would it look like to rescue churches in America? What if we gave them free coaching for a year? They didn't pay. We'd have to pay the coaches, but they wouldn't have to pay for it. So if you, sir, had a church of 35 and you feel like it's about to die, you could sign up with us. We're going to coach you for a year, and you don't have to pay for it. If you need counseling, we're going to give you counseling. We'll pay the counselor, but you don't have to pay for it. And we're going to send you on a 4-day retreat to help focus in on your life and your ministry And you don't have to pay for that. We'll pay for that. There was 15 of us that got together in Dallas 5 years ago, and we said, man, let's get healthy churches like Glad Tidings and many others across America, and let's get business leaders and business owners. And what if we just started giving to rescue churches in America? It's about $5,000, $5,000 to $7,000 to rescue a church. And I'm going to tell you, just 2 weeks ago, we had 130 more churches start the process of being rescued just 2 weeks ago. 130 more, and we are not even close to getting started. I want to thank you for coming to the rescue. I want to thank you that when you give to Kingdom Builders, among many other great things, you're helping to rescue churches in America. I'd like to give you a free gift, and then we're going to watch a video. If you have your phone, grab it right now. Go grab your phone. That's the thing you've been acting like you're taking notes on, but you're texting. I know the difference. All right. Put it on the screen for when we could, the QR code. I just want to give you a free digital book. It's 11 chapters from 11 different pastors in America that got rescued. Very heartwarming, tear-jerking type of book. You will definitely be moved by it. But grab that book for free. You can get the hard copy. You got to pay for shipping or something. I don't know. But the digital is absolutely free. Just take it. And that's our gift to you to say thank you for coming to the rescue. I'm about to show you a video. It's a video of a church in Vermont. Vermont is, of all 50 states, is the least religious state in all of America. This church got down to about 28 people. Then they gave us a call. And we started working with them. You'll hear in this story, right now they're averaging 500 on Sunday. They were about to close their door. Another lighthouse goes out. This church is one example of hundreds and hundreds that we've rescued. And this video right here is living proof that rescued churches rescue people. And I believe with all of my heart that rescue churches will rescue America. Look, I don't know if you like the president or don't, but I can tell you this, doesn't matter who's the president. The answer is never the White House. The answer is always God's house. It is our responsibility to keep it open. Check out this video of a church that got rescued, and I want to thank you again for coming to the rescue. Check out this video.